This is my redo review on it, chapter 2. So, I'm gonna go in the bathroom now because everyone's sleeping. Um, just take away your sleep. So, sorry if it's a little odd. So, yeah, this is my plot to. I know I did a review. I like the review that I did, but I feel like I want to go more deeper in the complex character development and the topics that this film's about. It is about getting over your grief and also it takes talks on getting over grief and letting people learn to open up and being who you are and trusting your friends and not lying to them and also, what was the last one? Connecting with your inner child and, redoing yourself. And it tackles on all these heavy topics. Now, yeah, I know what you're saying. This sounds like it's going to be very convoluted and doesn't like it's going to bother, have trouble fussing out. The fact that the film's 3 hours long, it's completely understand why it is because it tackles on heavy topics. So Pennywise has returned to Derry, and Mike calls all of his old friends back out, and only one of them recognized him. See, one of the friends, what he values most, each one of them not only have to physically give what they value most, but also psychologically what they give up. Right? So in order to defeat Pennywise, they must grow up and fit psychologically do some growing up, and they're not going to destroy the physical stuff that they're nostalgic towards, but also they must really truly get over it. And they don't at first. See, I'll get the Pennywise to come back there. Mike calls everyone up and they start to bond, losers start to bond. Then Pennywise attacks and for some reason he's just taunting them and not really attacking them or try and kill them until when it gets to the third act is when he tries again. Then they perform the ritual and something goes wrong. This is what happened. All of them are struggling emotionally and they destroyed all of their artifacts. But not only that, Mike didn't learn to be honest with his friends, and wasn't fully honest with his friends because he lied to him, and he kind of accidentally sabotaged the ritual by destroying something on part of the island because the Indians wanted them to forget, and he didn't want his friends to forget. That's kind of why the ritual worked, but why they might also still have the memories after defeating him this time. So like sabotaging the ritual by accident is what allows them, once they leave Derry, they still get to keep their memories this time, unlike last time. Mike's the only one that never left Derry, so he's become kind of crazy and obsessive. And so yeah. Anyway, they defeat Pennywise. A lot of people would say they just defeat him by bullying him and calling him names, therefore shrinking his ego physically and mentally. Mostly physically. You can see once if they shrink his ego, he physically becomes small by calling him names. And it works. And then the happily ever after, all the losers go all their separate ways, living their happy lives. After getting over, then how this worked is because they all got over, not just they psychologically took that step forward and burying the past and they also all connect with their inner child. And Billy decides to save this kid to redeem himself because he couldn't save Richie, his young brother. And it doesn't work, things go south. And then later on in the film, he learns to forgive himself, and which to take a step forward and to being Pennywise because he's getting over his grief that's been building up since at a young age from Billy. I mean, Billy is from a young age building up so much grief from loss of Georgie, his younger brother. So, and they do it in a very visually and creative way. And Richie learns to not be ashamed of who he really is because he learns to be who he really is, which is, well, a homosexual person who has a crush on one of his friends who got killed by Pennywise. And the fact that, and he figures out that Pennywise seems so weak, and that's when they start to move on because because they're all starting to move on because it was Richie that had to take the final step because Mike learned to be honest and trust his friends, and Beverly, who was the girl in I forget what the other guy's name. He used to be really into New Kids on the Block when he was young, and they both reaching out to each other physically and psychologically because they're both learning to not be so isolated and learning to open up physically and psychologically and metaphorically, I guess. No, that's not metaphorically, literally. Every way you can think of, that's the what it means when they're reaching out to each other, get each other's hands. So they take a step forward and to defeat Pennywise. And remember the kid that the guy, one of Mike's friends, the only one that recognized him? Yeah, he took his life because what he values the most is his own life because he's kind of a coward. At least that's just my guess. So he learns to physically get over being selfish over his life, and psychologically. They all do this physically and psychologically. The psychological part for all the other losers is a lot harder because they don't quite get it at first until later. And one of their friends got killed by Pennywise, who Richie had a crush on and had feelings for. And so what the happened? So anyway, he gets killed by Pennywise after learning he has to grow up and realize he's not a kid anymore, and he needs to stop hiding behind other people. So he learns to psychologically grow up here after they all throw away the childhood nostalgia things. So he takes a step forward by deciding not to be afraid of Pennywise and tries to kill Pennywise. And that's because he was a bit of a mommy's boy and has all of his his mother do all of the things for him because he wasn't brave enough to sing for himself or stand up for himself. But when he stands up to Pennywise, that's him growing up psychologically, like all the other losers. And yeah, the two of the losers are dating now and probably will be married. And Billy is working on an ending, and he thinks that he can write a good ending this time. He thinks he can write a good ending this time. Yeah, I said that. Mike's finally leaving Derry. Richie decides that he learned from all the action. He decides, he should really be who he is. And that is, and just, not be ashamed to be a gay person, which he was saying that since childhood, I guess. And he decides to just stop being ashamed, just embrace it. And that was It Chapter 2, and I really love this film. I think it's the best horror film I've seen. And I give it a thumbs up.